Welcome back to One Stop Law. Now, in this video, let us look into another legal maxim, that is Amicus Curie. Now, who is an Amicus Curie? Now, the Amicus Curie is again a Latin maxim which means friend of the court. So, basically, Amicus Curie is a friend of the court which involves either a person or an organization who or which is not a party to the proceedings directly, but is permitted by the court to set out legal arguments or to furnish information regarding questions of law and recommendations in a given case. So basically, amicus curiae is a person who is not interested to the proceeding, like who is not a party to any of, like who is not inclined to any of the parties to the dispute. He is not a lawyer to any of the parties to the dispute, but the court refers to such person to get some important opinion from him on a matter which affects the pending proceeding before the court. Thus, in general, amicus curiae is someone who is not a party to the litigation but who believes that the court's decision may affect its interest. The person who is usually allowed by the courts to act as an amicus curiae is a person who represents the unbiased will and opinion of the society. The decision of whether to admit the information provided by the amicus curiae lies solely with the discretion of the court. That is, the court has the liberty whether to consider his opinion or to disregard it, but it is the court which asks for the opinion of such person. The court expressly refers to this person who is considered basically an expert in the field, and he gives his opinion on a point of a point which involves a question of law. However, it lies the court has complete discretion whether to consider this opinion or to not consider it. So here in this picture you can see that there is a judge and there is a lawyer standing, whereas there is a person who is trying to explain the court a certain point. So this picture basically sums up the meaning of amicus curiae to you, that he is this person who is trying to point out the point, referring to some board. Basically he is acting as a point of as a friend to the court, and that person is a neutral person whose job is just to explain a certain question of law that has been referred to him by the court, and he gives his opinion on that particular point. So the person he is basically not a party to a particular litigation but is permitted by the court itself to advise in respect to some matter of law that directly affects the case in question. The information may be a legal opinion in the form of a brief testimony that has not been solicited by any of the parties, or a learned treatise on a matter that bears on the case. The decision whether to admit the information lies within the discretion of the court. However, it is the court which has asked for this neutral person, amicus curiae's opinion, and not any of the parties nor their advocates. If we take into the case of India, in India the courts have time and again welcomed the idea of permitting amicus curiae to associate themselves with proceedings generally involving public interest, and by doing so the court is guided not only by the academic perspective required for the particular case, but also enables the court to have an understanding which would allow them to do justice in its entirety. A very fine example of this can be the famous, or rather the very infamous, BMW hit and run case of Delhi, which has yet again been in news recently due to the fact that both the defense and the prosecution lawyers in this case have been suspended by the Delhi High Court on charge of driving the witnesses in turn hostile. In this case, Advocate Arvind Nigam, who was appointed as the amicus curiae by the Delhi High Court, has played a very crucial role in securing justice. The importance of amicus curiae can be well seen considering the facts of this above-mentioned case, in which both prosecution and defense have gone beyond, all ethical and professional practices to murder justice in the court of law. And the role played by amicus curiae, that is Advocate Arvind Nigam, in the present case can be well appreciated if we consider the fact that after the opinion he gave and he helped the court, that Delhi High Court recommended his name for the post of being appointed as a senior advocate to the court. So yes, the amicus curie or friends of court are very important for delivering proper justice to the parties, and to see that after all it is justice that is delivered, and they basically help the court to meet that ultimate end of securing justice and saving the society from any injustice. That's all for this video. See you in some other video. Till then, thank you all.